Friends, welcome back to the Brave New Wear Show. My name's Christian. Today I am taking a look into my crystal ball to give everybody an idea of some of the hot trends that I think are inevitable in 2023.
I am inevitable.
Specifically, spring, summer, maybe into fall. I think that a lot of the things that will be trendy in the next couple of months will naturally have some carryover. And typically the thing about trends is, and I've said this before, it's easy enough to just look at whatever is popular right now and predict that the opposite will be popular, the aesthetic opposite, in the near future. The first one I want to talk about is knit tops. I'm wearing one right now. And I'm specifically talking about these knit tops we're seeing that are atypical for warmer season wear. So I'm not referring to sweaters. I mean knit shirts like this, knit polos, knit t-shirts even. I've been seeing this for maybe a few seasons, but I think it's gonna be really popular in the soon times. I think that this is something that is going to be distinctive or different in the warmer months, and I think it is a trend worth buying into because it's different, it's novel, and there is kind of that luxury element of it where, take anything that you would typically wear that's not usually a knit kind of material, turn it into a knit material, boom, you've got it. Trend number 2, femme styling. So I mentioned this in one of my recent videos. I think that more feminine styling for men is kind of the prevailing theme of a lot of recent runway shows. And I think that we're going to continue seeing that into spring and summer. And that will probably manifest itself with sheer tops or tops that are skimpy, sexy, tops that are more revealing. And I mean, it works well for the warmer months. It's totally natural. It's totally normal to want to wear things that are lighter, and it works well with this trend. And for context, if you didn't watch my other video, just watch it. Number 3, long shorts. So I don't know about you, but shorts for me are always I have a really hard time styling them. I just don't really care. I'm not from a warm place, so shorts, that kind of fashion has always been kind of tricky for me. But maybe there's something exciting, maybe there's something different. I'm talking about shorts that are beyond the knee, longer than your knee. And that has been kind of the opposite of what's been trendy for men's shorts for a while. I think that shorter and shorter shorts, kind of reminiscent of the 70s, have been kind of the cooler short to wear for a period of time. And it's more sexy, more better for warm weather. James Bond wears a little bathing suit in Casino Royale.
You might not like it, but this is what the peak male athletic form looks like, and there ain't a fucking thing you can do about it.
But I think the opposite is going to be interesting right now. I saw my friend Ben wearing a pair, and it looks like Acne Studios has a couple of these. Reminds me of capris, or Carrie from Sex and the City. That's a pant she would wear. And I think that it's going to be pieces kind of like the Acne one, where maybe it is almost a capri in some ways. Maybe it's almost like a cropped pant, but it really isn't. So I'm imagining it being kind of like this a little bit wider silhouette, big leg opening. And for I don't think that's going to mean your whatever everybody wore in middle school, the big cargo shorts. Maybe nobody wears that anymore. Maybe that was just that's how ancient I've become, that people don't dress that badly in middle school anymore and they don't wear that. I'm talking about shorts that are riding the precipice between short and capri. But I bet this trend would also work with basketball shorts. Think Adam Sandler's look that he does, as silly and anti-fashion as that seems, and I'm sure I have pictures on the screen, I can imagine that being tweaked, like these giant basketball shorts, where it looks cool. And maybe we'll see it. I don't know. Next trend, low soles. Now, I think that like the whole chunky footwear, chunky outsoles has been popular in fashion since like 2017. And we've been riding that trend for a long time. I think it's about to flip. I think chunky soles are about to be out and thin soles are about to be in. And I've been seeing more people like on TikTok wearing like Adidas Sambas, which are like a classic sneaker, obviously kind of always in like something you can wear, but they're becoming more popular. And I think that also just like footwear that's not a sneaker, like footwear that's usually like a leather sole, I think it's gonna go back to being kind of just like thin soles instead of like we've been seeing like everybody who does like a footwear is doing like lug sole on it. They've been doing that, especially in the last few years as this trend has been at like its apex. But it's like what I just said, whatever is cool will become uncool. The opposite will be cool. And I think that the low soles kind of silhouette is a little more interesting right now. In part because it's different, in part because I think it's interesting to apply some of those fashion lessons we've learned. Some of like the aesthetics that have been like wider or more relaxed or like those kind of not the skinny or really tailored silhouettes. I think it's gonna be interesting to apply the more relaxed silhouettes with like the lower soles. Here's another thing, So I've had these common projects forever, and I've been trying to sell them on Grailed forever. Nobody's bit, but now I'm kind of like, they're mine. Next trenderino, post-work wear. I think this is kind of probably on most people's radars. I think a lot of people are predicting this kind of thing is gonna happen. It's just that obviously things like workwear has reached something of a saturation point on social medias, and it has been for a while. You know, the double knees, the other things that workwear types wear. And I think that we're going to pivot away from kind of that universe being the center of what everybody is kind of just wearing. So what comes next? What does that mean? Well, I mean, like, I think like a year ago in a trend video, I predicted tailoring would become more popular. And I have my doubts right now. I think it's a cool thing that if you were wearing more tailoring, you would be cooler than everyone else, but I don't think people are jumping on that bandwagon just yet. But I think that like the post workwear center point could be, hear me out, it could be like a ALD kind of streetwear preppy thing. And I say that because ALD has obviously been popping off. I think this last year and maybe like the last few seasons or whatever, they've been building more and more momentum. They're becoming more successful, for lack of a better word. And I think maybe in part, people are buying into that aesthetic as like another thing, a next level after this like streetwear, workwear, or just like, I don't know, core streetwear kind of looks. And I think maybe that's the post vision. It's going to be preppier streetwear. I don't know, I think it could happen. And by that I mean like preppy aesthetic things, like collared shirts, like, you know, a warmer or more colorful palette that's not just like limited to like blacks, because that's not very preppy at all. I think it's gonna mean like basically clothing that is intended for white collar instead of like blue collar. And obviously I'll have a fashion flip. And that's just kind of a speculation. But I think that firmly, I think we'll wake up, it'll be spring, and the post workwear summer or sun will be above us. And that's not to say, as a disclaimer, you know, if you're like a Junya Watanabe head, if you're like a some kind of Japanese workwear head guy, or any kind of workwear, whatever it is. It does not matter if your favorite thing is kind of sunsetting in terms of like the trends right now. Don't stop wearing it if it's your thing. If you feel comfortable in it, if you have the wardrobe for it, if that is what you love, you should stick with it, bro. Because, you know, regardless of what comes in and out of trend, you know, style is fundamentally the cooler, more interesting thing. You can still pay attention to trend and participate in your own way. That doesn't mean you have to throw out your double knees just because everybody on TikTok is gonna stop wearing them. How many did I list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, that's a good number, 5. Maybe I'll throw some other stuff in there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Is there like a trend that you think is right on the corner, right around the corner for the spring and summer that I missed? Complain in the comments. And as a reminder, I probably mentioned this in the beginning of the video, please check out The Bias Cut. It's the podcast I'm doing with Killian from Low Luxury. We do our episodes live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we do a segment at the end where we like just talk to people who are on the stream. Like we just answer questions or we goof around, and it's cool and it's lit. And I miss you and I want to see you there. So whatever, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.